So, Jan, first of all, thanks a lot for the invitation. It is my first time here. There is some history, and we will have to take a drink on that. So thanks for being a guest here, for being able to present Greencom Networks. Greencom is basically a software company. We are an IoT platform provider for utilities and energy service companies in order to connect all sorts of items that are connected to the low voltage side of the system, which is distributed generation, basically controllable consuming devices and storage devices, including storage with 4 wheels, which was just explained by my colleague here before. Maybe let me start with the first slide here. And this slide, when I show such a slide, basically everyone says, I know that slide, I've seen it several times already. And it's absolutely true. The only thing that I want to illustrate here is if you look at what is happening here in the market, it's definitely the biggest transformation in the energy world that is happening since the last 40 years. Interestingly enough, every week you can basically replace those press releases by new ones. And that means there is suddenly significant dynamic in the market, which was not the case when we started 5 years ago as Greencom, to be honest. So there is lots of things happening. Even Rockefeller is stepping out of fossil, is stepping out of oil. There are other players entering the arena like IKEA, wants to become the biggest distributor of solar PV in Europe. Quite an interesting approach. Why do they believe they can do it? They have access to end customers. Access to end customers is one of the big items, one of the big assets that companies can have in the future energy space. Why do I believe in that? If you look at that chart, basically on the left-hand side, this is the mother of all share economy approaches, which is Skype. Skype basically did one thing that was quite intelligent. They were looking at the end customers, and they realized there is so much processing power available. Everyone has a PC. And there is as well connectivity available. Everyone has a DSL connectivity. So why not utilizing the distributed assets of the customers that are out there? I don't need to provide an infrastructure. I'm just using the infrastructure that is already there. I put a small piece of software on every PC, and I can connect people with each other. And suddenly I'm a service provider by using the assets of my customer. This is what today is basically called share economy. Airbnb, Uber, and the likes are quite successful in that space in other industries. We haven't seen that so far in the utility industry. Nevertheless, we are strongly convinced that it will happen in the same way in the utilities industry. If you just look at what is happening with all the distributed assets out there, we've heard a lot about the penetration of solar PV. We've heard a lot about storage technologies coming out there. We've heard a lot about electric vehicles. We've heard a lot about electrical heating and cooling. And those are the primary technologies that are out there. So there are assets that are just waiting to be connected. There is processing power out there. There is connectivity out there. So why not doing exactly the same? Why not becoming a copycat of what Skype basically does, simply speaking? And this is what we are doing as Greencom Networks. We want to bring together distributed assets. We want to enable new business models with a share economy approach. Skype, it basically took 15 years until everyone was promoting voice over IP, everything that Skype was introducing, basically. We want to make sure it does not take another 15 years in the utility industry. And just picking up the question, basically, that Inken Braunschmidt raised this morning, I hope I can answer at least 2 out of those. I cannot answer whether Google will step into the market or not. But I hope I can answer whether there will be some share economy approaches in the energy industry. And I hope I can answer whether electricity will be free or not. I want to answer that by looking at one of our customers, which is Beegy, Better Energy, which is an energy service provider, some sort of next generation utility that was established nearly 2 years ago in the German market. Beegy basically makes money by not selling kilowatt hours, by helping the customers to reduce consumption, by helping the customers to more intelligently consume, and by helping the customers to produce electricity on their own. So it's basically a conversion of the traditional business model by 180 degrees. Beegy is offering in the first step products and services around energy autonomy. So Beegy wants to make sure that customers are autonomous. Why? People are really looking at that. Energy autonomy is a big asset. It's not just having cheap energy, it's having sustainable energy, and it's being autonomous. That's a big driver that we see in the market right now. Beegy is offering solutions that include all the components like solar PV, battery, heat pumps, what have you. Beegy is providing the connectivity, Beegy is doing the installation, the service, and the energy management in order to have autonomy offerings here. The second stage is Beegy is creating energy communities. So first, people become autonomous. In a second step, people can create their own virtual utility. I doubt that we need the central utilities that we have today in the future. I think those will be service providers that can help to connect people with each other, that can help to manage the complexity in the background. So one business model of a utility in the future is being the complexity manager. Why? You should not bring complexity to customers. So all of those discussions around time of use tariffs, what have you, it's complete nonsense in my opinion. You should reduce complexity for the customer. You should be the manager in the background, make it simple for customers. Third step is a data-driven service platform, because data has a value. Kilowatt hours don't have that much value in the future because marginal cost is going towards zero, but data has a value. So that's the first step. How does that look like? In step one, Beegy is providing autonomy packages, so connecting solar PV with battery storage, going forward as well, heat pumps, wall boxes, etc., within buildings. And Beegy is connecting those dots, doing the energy management within the buildings, but is connecting as well the buildings with each other in energy communities, even sub-communities that can be created in order to do energy management. From a regulatory perspective, not everything is possible today, unfortunately. We strongly believe that tomorrow there will be the required regulatory framework that allows everything on the share economy side. By offering those services, basically Beegy does not provide just the service, but Beegy provides as well guarantees. So this is not selling kilowatt hours. Beegy is as well an electricity supplier. Beegy is providing a service with a 20 years carefree flat rate. That answers whether electricity will be free. It will be free. There is a monthly fee, nothing more. That fee is guaranteed for the next 20 years. Regardless of what you consume. It includes financing of your solar PV, it includes financing of your battery storage. So it's a complete carefree package. If something breaks down within those 20 years, it will be repaired, it will be replaced, it will be serviced. So no additional cost for an end customer. You just have one price. That's it. Carefree. As simple as that for the customer. The technology that is behind is Greencom. It's always difficult to explain what is the software. And this is why I started with Beegy. Beegy is a customer that is applying our platform to create or to offer those solutions and services to customers. The underlying workbench is Greencom Networks. We are an IoT platform that enables such kind of share energy economy offerings for our utility customers and for energy service companies. Basically with various applications running on top of our platform, some type of central applications for energy management like virtual power plants, but as well applications towards end customers. Why? The assets do not belong anymore to utilities, so you need to get a buy-in from the end customer. This is why you need to offer as well services and applications for the end customers. And the service type of applications coming primarily from the telcos world. Our development team in the past was in charge of managing up to 5 million set-top boxes for cable providers, so they have lots of experience from the telco world. Technology behind is not SCADA type of technology, not utility type of technology, but is coming from a completely different angle, which is primarily coming from social media. So we have components from Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and the likes that we've included to be able to process up to 80 billion messages per day. The platform itself is adjusted for the needs of the energy industry. It helps to manage the electricity flows, between customers and the market, basically. It integrates the distributed devices. It contains self-learning algorithms for optimization and forecasting purposes. So it's not just an analytics platform, it's an operating system that manages devices, distributed devices out there in the market in the bigger portfolio, either from a trading perspective or from a grid perspective, depending on what kind of markets you are. Looking at the time, this is it basically. Question is, how do we make money? We see ourselves as the information broker between the customer and the utility and the component manufacturers. We are a pure software as a service company. Thanks a lot.